Hello, everybody. As we all know, Team Fortress 2 is a game with lots of weapons. It's a shooter, so of course it has weapons. But some people might have noticed when you hover your mouse over a weapon, there might be some little, and I mean like little, green text under it. This means that you have that weapon equipped, or another weapon in its item set. Item sets have always been interesting to me, because when on release, they used to give you a literal bonus, like the Saharan Spy, which gives you a quieter decloak, making even the cloak and dagger absolutely, well, almost absolutely silent. And the one I'm going to be talking about today, the Milkman set. On release, it used to give you 25% more max health, and now it just kind of puts a gravestone over your enemies' bodies when you kill them while having the set equipped. So I went over using this weapon. Here's what I found. So the first thing we need to talk about is what is an item set. An item set is pretty much just a set of any, and I mean any item in the game, as long as it's a cosmetic or a weapon. There are some item sets that are simply cosmetics that really don't provide any bonus besides synergy. And the Milkman set is not one of these, gratefully. It consists of a hat and 3 weapons. This hat costing real life money. You could get it from, I believe, some crates, and you could just buy it off of the item shop for 5 whole real dollars, or 2 keys in TF2 terms. The reason why this was crazy on launch is that this used to give you a big bonus. This bonus being 25 more health, making you as healthy as a medic or an engineer using the gunslinger. The reason why this is a big deal is that Scout's main purpose is that he can go down pretty easily, despite how strong he is. His scattergun being able to deal over 100 damage in a single shot at the best range, meaning that he is a class who can't get hit much, but he can get in and really deal some damage. Giving him 25 more health is kind of a big deal. So the items in the Milkman set, as you saw earlier, are the Shortstop, Mad Milk, and Holy Mackerel, along with the Milkman hat itself. This is actually pretty good. A lot of people use those weapons, but not many use them in unison, because in unison, they're just alright. The Mad Milk is an incredibly useful supportive tool. When you douse somebody in it, or somebody deals damage to the person doused, the person who inflicted that damage gains back the damage they gained in health. The next weapon that actually matters is the Shortstop. This weapon makes it so the push force you take from air blast and damage in itself is increased, which is a semi-neglectable downside. It also has a 4-shot clip, which is a little bit worse than the scattergun, being an entire third less ammo, but it reloads its entire clip at once instead of 1 shell at a time. Another thing that's neat about this is that if you alt-fire, you can shove someone. This is absolutely useless. If it was even half as good as an air blast as far as push force goes, then it would push this weapon a long way. Too bad it doesn't. It is pretty funny though. The last weapon is the Holy Mackerel, which is objectively the best item in the game, because it can spy check, and it's the regular bat. The Holy Mackerel is actually nothing too remarkable, with one tiny upside being that if you hit a spy with it, instead of saying dead, it'll say 1 hit. Because the gimmick of the Holy Mackerel is that it has a hit counter in the kill feed for how many times you've whacked somebody with it, which I guess is pretty okay. And the Milkman hat is just a hat. Now that we have that out of the way, it's time to talk about how these weapons are together. So, after using the Milkman set for a while, and you can see some of the footage in the background of this video, you'll see that it's, well, as far as I can use it, it's fine. It's a pretty alright set of weapons. They're all pretty good on their own. The Holy Mackerel is, as far as gameplay goes, really isn't too remarkable. But it is a pretty fun item set to use. I will admit, it is decently fun, especially with that shove mechanic that you can get from the Shortstop. because it can be pretty funny if you see a sniper perched up on a ledge or something. You can just shove him off and then go kill him with the fish. And honestly, it's pretty decent. Like, there's nothing too bad about it. I will say, not having your pistol as a secondary damage option is kind of annoying because the fish doesn't really provide any too good of a benefit. But I will admit the Mad Milk does come in clutch sometimes when you just need that little extra bit of health. But another weapon that does this just fine is the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol, which revives health and it's a pistol that deals decent damage, like 20-ish damage per shot with a fast shooting 9 bullet clip. And I think that there definitely are better combinations of weapons and even better item sets for Scout as far as even this type of playstyle goes, being like trying to live as long as possible with your supportive utility. I will say the Mad Milk does come in clutch quite a bit if you're trying to actually help your teammates, because it can, because if you hit your teammate with it, it can defuse them if they're on fire. So if you see your medic trying to run away while he's on fire and he's about to die, you can just splash him with the Mad Milk and he'll be fine. But I definitely will say that the Mad Milk is not as good in base game as it is in Man vs. Machine. It's pretty much needed in Man vs. Machine unless you're going for Damage Scout, which is a MVM subclass. You should go watch a video on the MVM subclasses because they're kind of funny. It's like interesting to see what is even a subclass in Man vs. Machine. But I'm gonna stop rambling about like these weapons. It's kind of annoying that the only difference that this set has now, of course, it doesn't still give you 20 more health. They took it out because they knew that was broken. But now it leaves a little calling card on in the form of a gravestone instead of a ragdoll for your enemies when you kill them, which is it's pretty mediocre. It's a mediocre effect. It really isn't anything to run home about because I mean, ragdolls can be pretty funny, and just replacing the ragdoll with that gravestone is like it takes away a big part of the funny, especially when using the fish. You want to get a funny ragdoll when you kill somebody with a fish, but you can't get that with the calling card. And with another set I will cover later on, it has a far cooler benefit after they took away its like objective benefit. It has a far cooler effect. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for me talking about the items, this item set of TF2. I will definitely make more videos like this later on, and at the end I will talk about which item sets I will and will not be covering. I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye. Yeah, so the way I'm counting item sets is I will not be covering any of the cosmetic ones. I think that one is a little obvious. And I will only be covering select item sets with that just have 2 weapons in them. If it just has 1 weapon, I'm not going to make a video on it because that's more of a just weapon review at that point. And the ones that I will be covering that only have 2 weapons in them are going to be the Dr. Grord Bort's Brainiac pack, which is the engineer one, the medieval medic, the gas jockey's gear, Dr. Grord Bort's victory pack, which is the one for soldier, the tank buster, the public enemy, and the Saharan spy, along with the man of honor on top of that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.